Andy's here. Owen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're coming nice and clear.
Excellent. How are you all?
I'm doing great.
So I've got all three of you here today, actually. It's,
yeah, we're
still
missing Tim, but we're hoping Tim shows up at some point.
I've got so many open at the moment. Right. Okay. So, Jeremiah, I've spoken to you over email, and asked about the extent of it. I think in a few comments, maybe here and there, like on the YouTube channel.
And I do apologize. My emails have not been something I keep up with.
No, it happens to the best of us. Ryan, I don't think I've actually come across you before.
That's all right. It's all right. Good to see you.
And Dustin, yeah, you too. And Dustin, I think I'd have to comment on your channel. I tried to actually stream. Your streams are very much not UK time, and they've been pretty sporadic. So I've left comments on there. Happy to chat with yourself at some point. Lots to say, to be honest.
So you're in Britain, Owen?
Yes, yeah, in the UK, yeah.
Great.
So I wanted to do this a while ago, actually, but it happens. Just so happens that it's not quite happened in the way we wanted. I'm really curious as to how yourselves as Christians and sort of quite overtly sort of trying to spread word of God and stuff, and you appear to be quite staunch Trump supporters. Like you appear to be quite in favor of current stuff happening and such. Like it's a bit of a curiosity to me. I'm a bit sort of baffled as to how the two have gone together.
Okay, let me explain it this way. I'm not in a direct support of Trump. Like you have like the red hat MAGA people who like would die on the hill that Trump is sent from God. I'm not one of those. Let's be very clear. I think those people idolize Trump, and that is horrible. You shouldn't do that.
You still support him though, right? Like,
however, I did vote for him because I had to choose between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump to be the leader of this nation, and I thought Donald Trump would be a better pick. It's like voting for the lesser of two evils. That's the choice I made.
Okay, but that's still support, right? That's still supporting Trump. Like, I mean, obviously, no one's saying, "Oh yes, you're a Diane Wall firm MAGA," but you still voted for him. You still have supported many of the things he's done. I'm sort of, this is the curiosity, right? Like, here's a person who is so overtly, just hateful, insipid, nasty, trashes the planet, trashes people on the planet, just no respect for human life. And here we are, right? Like, we're not. We're claiming to be sort of, making hell nervous. You're trying to make hell nervous, and yet here's a person that would be most likely, I'm not religious myself, right? But this is the sort of person that is 100% going to hell if all of that stuff were to be real, right? Like there's a clear sort of dissonance, right? Like this is the person that is commissioning bomb squads to go to Iran and destroy schools, who trashes the planet with just complete disregard for the environment, who has no respect for anyone, right? Like how on earth is this? Where can you see the contrast, the dissonance?
Okay, I'm writing down some of these claims. I can just put them in order. We got. Let me address the two that I find the most interesting to me, which is Trump going to hell and bombs Iran. Okay, and then we can go over some more in a minute if we want. First,
sure.
Going to hell. It is not my place to judge whether or not he's saved or not. However, it does say that we can discern the fruits. And I would say this: Trump, out of his own mouth, has said that he's not really asked God to save him. So, is Trump going to hell? By a confession of his own mouth, probably. Again, I'm not saying Trump is a saint. I'm not saying Trump is a great guy. I am simply saying that some of his policies are things I voted for, which is, let's say, the second one, bombs Iran. Iran is particularly a Muslim country. A lot of the Muslim...
What does that have to do with anything?
Let me address it. Muslims, if you go to Sharia law, they are pro-pedophiles. They marry very young women.
So, Jeremiah, we're not, like, none of that is particularly substantial, right? But we're not talking about Muslims here. we're thinking your channel is called Making Hell Nervous. You know, your sort of many of the things you say are like, oh yeah, we're trying to be good Christians, we're trying to spread God's word and such. But here you are openly acknowledging that the person you vote for is someone that, by your own religion's tenets, or even your own interpretation of its tenets, would be going to hell. So is there not some curiosity? Like, it doesn't matter that the people that got bombed in Iran may also have questionable views. They still, the person you voted for still chose to declare war and bomb them, you know, and not even like, you know, a school full of kids, right? Like, how is that? Where's the justification in that?
Well,
and
if you let
more
me
critically,
finish, you've been interrupting quite a bit, and I get you tons of questions, but I have to answer those questions, and then we can go
Sure.
into the next one. So as I'm being very clear, Trump doesn't have to be a Christian for me to vote for him. He just has to be better than Kamala in my perspective. So let's just say, and again, for sake of argument, my understanding is Trump was better than Kamala. That's it. I had to vote for one because I wanted to lead our nation in a better way. I had to pick one of these two, apparently. That's why I voted for one. I am very much so aware that Trump's not a perfect person, that he doesn't have all of the same values as me. Trump has done many things that I don't approve of. He seems to be very pro-LGBTQ. He's, well, in some ways.
Is that one of the things that you've taken issue with?
You don't even need to correct me. I'm correcting myself. He's taken down Pride Month. But there are other things where he's been supportive of homosexual activities and all of that whatnot. I know a lot of people say he doesn't, like the media, but he has. You can look it up. My point is he's done a lot of things that I do not like, okay? But he's done other things that I do like. Now, when it comes to Iran and the situation in Iran, which is something you brought up, so I'm going to address it. Iran is very much so against America. Being an American and being a Christian person in America, I like my Christian values being protected in America. Iran is directly against Christianity in many ways. If you look at Sharia law, it's not only non-Christian, but it's anti-constitutional. So I want a president who's naturally going to stop a country that has declaimed death to America for like the last, 20 years plus? That's all.
More than that.
That's why I support him over Kamala. That's all I'm saying.
So the little kids in the school, they deserve to die because some people in Iran were unhappy with America.
I can't confirm the bombing targets. However, what I
we
do
can
know
because
is Iranians will hide behind children. They will put babies in front of them to keep people who have good morals from shooting at them.
That's a rather questionable argument, right? What if someone...
Not a questionable argument.
Jeremiah, am I right in thinking, Jeremiah, that you've got children? If someone said death to Iran that also was in the same vicinity as the school your kids go to, would it be okay for Iran to blow up the whole school?
That's the thing about war. Murder is not okay.
So how? And that's the point. I agree, murder's not okay. So then Trump, and Trump's allies and such, destroying schools in Iran is bad. Like, there's the obvious conclusion there.
Let me put it this way: if America started cursing God to his face, right? If we said death to God, I would move out of America because I know that God's going to strike America and everybody in it. I would move out of America. Now, if Iran said death to America, I would be scared out of my life because guess what? America has way more nukes than Iran, and I would not want to be caught in the middle. So if I was in Iran and my neighbor says death to America and America gets mad about it, I'm leaving.
That's got nothing to do with what I said, Jeremiah. That's not at all what I've said.
Well, you're addressing is it okay for America to murder children just because there are some people in the area who are doing it. Generally, no. But that's the thing about war.
Generally.
That's the thing about war. It's bloody. There are casualties. You're trying to get me to justify war. I hate
Jeremiah. Well, if you hate war, how are you saying, oh yes, Trump's the better choice, Trump's the one I'm not even going to criticize once on my chat? Like, you make all this... I
have criticized Trump on my channel.
Overtly. And not in some... I mean, he said a second ago he supported LGBTQ people, and that was like your big...
Well, no, so here's something else and I'll get to the other people in the queue in a minute. Here's something I specifically shamed Trump on actively on my channel. He made a post of Obama and I think it was Hillary Clinton. No, not Hillary. Of Obama and Kamala Harris, where he like grafted their faces onto monkey bodies. And I saw that post, and I said, Trump, this is not okay. Just because you don't like your adversary does not mean that's okay. And I was like, quit being racist. Even as a joke, this is not okay. And I mentioned that, and I said that publicly on my channel, and I critiqued Trump right there. Again, we're not a political channel. We don't like that much. But I will address.
Okay, it's like that's one thing you've said out of thousands. Like, I mean, firstly,
the war
itself.
I addressed the war, and I said I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't feel generally. It's you know, a second ago you were saying, well, it happens in war sometimes, and if you're near people that are saying bad things, get away from them. Otherwise, don't get upset if you get blown up. Like, how is that?
No, that's not what I said. I said
I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it seems
in war. I never said I support this war. I said I understand that this happens in war.
I never said that you said you supported war, but clearly you're making excuses for the death and destruction that is happening at the hands of the GOP and Trump and such. Aren't you supposed to turn the other cheek as Christians to this sort of stuff? Isn't love thy neighbor and all the sort of peace unto earth and such, right? Like, you're not meant to go about things in, oh yes, well, if you say this about God and America, blow everything up, and that's just where it is. Like, the whole point of your religious beliefs is that you're not supposed to turn to violence. Is that not? Have I misinterpreted that? Like, is that not the whole point?
Yeah, actually, you kind of have. Now, we don't say kill people who don't agree in Christian values, but what we have said, what Jesus says himself is, let every man buy himself a sword. Let every man arm himself up.
So Jesus would be fine with the school getting blown up and all the kids dying?
I'm not going to say either way, because again, I don't necessarily
support this. Either way. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Of course he wouldn't be fine with it. This is the man who preached peace. No?
No, actually, he said, I'm not here to cause peace, but to divide households. He said that himself while he was on the earth.
I'm sorry. Like,
he said
I don't know what church you guys went.
The son against the mother or something, like the son against the father. And that there would be a division between those who follow him and those who don't.
There's absolutely no way that in any telling of Jesus, he would be like, sorry, kids, it's justified. You don't need to look it up, Jeremiah. You've got to use your own brain. Like, is this something that you just stand by? Like, if your religion has let you condone, the mass killing of children, like, ultimately, what's it worth?
Okay, look, you keep trying to push me to I either support the war or I don't. I'm saying I'm perplexed and I don't have an opinion. Let me not have an opinion. You're
perplexed? Okay. So you don't support the killing of children, I'd assume. So we don't have to turn it into like a whole big thing just yet. We can start with, okay, the president that I voted for does atrocious things. And it's not just him, it's his whole, cabinet and government and his allies across the various positions he's installed. But clearly there's something fundamentally wrong with a movement, a far-right movement, which decides, we want to cause some havoc, so we're going to just blow up schools and destroy infrastructure and all the other horrible stuff they're doing there. And what I was saying earlier as well, has no respect for human life anywhere in the world, basically. I mean, look at the stuff ICE is doing, look at the stuff that's happening to your healthcare, defunding schools, they're cancelling free meal programs. Like, how is any of this Christian? How are you not overtly anti-Trump if you believe in the stuff that you claim to as a Christian?
Well, we can defend Trump all day long or not, which I'm not here to defend Trump because I don't agree with everything Trump does. But what I will say is the reason why I vote for him is because it's closer to my values and I can explain my values. God says it's good to have a wall. That a man without walls control is a city without walls and will come to ruin.
That is not that applicable, is it, really? I mean, God also said, no nations unto me, right? Like, he also says everyone's equal unto God. So why are you even caring about nationalities and nations? Why are you, as someone that is meant to respect all human life, saying, oh, well, you aren't really American, so we have to kidnap you from your home and separate you from your family and put you in one of like 1,000 different, basically concentration camps at this point, prison systems, industrial complex and such. How is any of that something you're thinking, yes, Trump represents me and my Christian values here?
Because we're not just arresting and kidnapping people who are immigrants. We're only actually doing the ones that have been illegal and breaking other laws. Not just illegal immigrants, but illegal immigrants that are also disrespecting other laws.
Firstly, that's not true. And secondly, why would you care? Like, you're not meant to believe any of this. Like, even if, okay, firstly, illegal immigrant is a silly term, right? Like, the idea that someone should care that, oh yes, they didn't follow over exact.
They're not a citizen, they're illegal. That's the premise. Now, let me read this, because we went over this and I wanted to address this. Okay. It says in, let me see, was it Matthew? Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So he's pointing out that there will be a division between those who follow him and those who don't. It is not all just let them walk all over you. That's something that a lot of people misunderstand about Christianity. We are to discern. We are not to condemn you, per se, but we are to discern right from wrong and to divide right from wrong.
Jesus lived in the time of Roman Empire, which were actively, obviously, killing Christians and such. He's clearly talking about injustice and not standing ignorant in the face of injustice. If we transpose those times to now, here is Trump and his party terrorizing immigrants, terrorizing LGBTQ people, blowing up schools in other countries, destroying the environment. He's the person you should be really focusing on if we apply this same logic, because he's the person that is being unloving and being cruel and being nasty by your own tenets, right? Love thy neighbor. What on earth is happening that's loving right now? You said yourself, right? The man posts disgusting videos of, barely concealed racism for a person, that he considers beneath him, right? Like it's misogyny. This person has no respect for him whatsoever. Like he's a hateful, awful person, right? Why it's not, for as much you call yourself making hell nervous, how is it enough to say, oh yes, well I said this once, now it's back to video 2000 of like, I don't know, just what's the regular stuff for uni channel? Like I think I heard Dustin the other day saying he didn't want to go to church because he saw a pride flag there. Like, how is that the focus of making hell nervous?
What do you mean? Based on what? Because I have an opinion about a church based on their standing? Yeah, what do you mean?
Okay, so that's a good point, actually, Dustin. Like, sorry, Jeremiah, can I just respond to what Dustin said really quickly, please?
What I was getting at, because you keep asking too many questions in a row, and I need to answer these questions, is it's not what Trump's character is. I don't like Trump's character. I'm not going to protect Trump's character. What I am saying, though, is when a nation says death to America, yes, I as an American is going to say a leader who will stand up for America and protect American values and stop the people who are trying to kill us is good, regardless of what party they lean on. Now, is far right bad? Potentially, yes. Far left could be potentially bad. Well, yes, I'm saying as a vague concept, a far radical group, whether they be left or right or anything else, can be concerning. Okay, as I already said earlier, I disassociate myself with the mega group because those people are far right and they can fall into bad areas. That's why I specifically dissociate myself. And when you bring up, how do you support Trump? I say, well, I don't support Trump's character. I support some of the things he's implemented. He makes sure that America stays American.
That's a vapid.
You can celebrate without supporting.
Okay, but that is a vapid thing, isn't it? Because it's not, oh yes, well I'm not in line with his character, but I still support, protecting American values, which it turns out is just blowing up things overseas. How is American value protected?
Just blowing up enemies overseas, yes.
Well, some kids in a school, how are they your enemies? What do the kids do?
Well, as I said, war gets messy, and I'm not pro the entire war. I think it's a very complicated concept, and I'm glad I'm not the president right now. However, at the same time, Iran does need to be dealt with. Again,
could they say the same about you? Could they
right now? It's too hard for me to make that decision on.
Okay, well, why could they not say exactly the same about America? You know, you've blown up your countries and its resources have blown up an entire school of kids. Could they not say, well, these guys are literally just killing the way for our country? We should do the same thing. How is that any difference? Well, I wanted to come on to what Dustin said a second ago. Dustin, I said that you know,
I just think it's funny that you attacked me and then you said, "Now let me go here." You don't get to do that.
Well, I happily will, Jeremiah. But Dustin said something, and I tried to respond, and then you wanted to bring it back. So you know, there's lots of things going on. I will come back to it, Jeremiah. Dustin, pride flag at your church made you not attend. Why?
Absolutely. Why should I go somewhere I don't feel comfortable? Can you explain that to me? Why should I go anywhere?
Why would a pride flag make you feel uncomfortable, Dustin?
Are you uncomfortable if I had a gun on my hip?
How is a flag equivalent to a gun, Dustin?
Let's see.
My comfort, that's how it's equivalent.
Okay, how is it equivalent, Dustin?
He just said by
the equivalency is my comfort.
What comfort are you getting from a gun compared to a flag?
No, he's asking you, would you feel uncomfortable?
I'm at work, boss.
If he had a gun strapped to his hip?
Sorry?
He's saying if Dustin had a gun strapped to his hip and you were near him, like going to the same establishment, like a Walmart or let's say a church even, would you feel comfortable?
So, well, I've heard your views on race, Dustin, so I probably wouldn't feel comfortable. How is that equivalent to a flag, a pride flag? You know, gay people are welcome in our space. How is that a scary thing?
I'm not scared. What makes you think I'm scared? How about just not comfortable?
You just said you're not comfortable with in your church.
Comfort and scared are two different things, buddy. They're not the same. They're not the same.
Synonyms, aren't they? Uncomfortable, scared, they're related.
No, anyway, they're not. They're not even close. They're not even related. I mean, you're retarded, bro.
That's very nice, Dustin. That's not very Christian of you.
Let's stay off of the slanderous comments.
Oh no, let him speak. Let him speak, Jeremiah. I mean, this is a person that uses words that are slurs and then throws a tantrum because he saw a pride flag in his church. Like, how? Surely you should be pleased that your church is like open to all and spreading the words to more people. Like,
why? Wait. Why? Surely would I be okay with that, Owen? Make that make sense. Why would I surely be okay with that? Why? You don't make any sense, bro.
Aren't you meant to be like spreading the good word and letting more people see the light?
What does spreading the good word have to do with a pride flag, Owen? What does it have to do with it? What are the two things related even?
Okay, I'm gonna cut Owen out.
Can you show me an equivalency, Owen? I don't think you can.
I'm gonna kick Owen out for one reason, and if you watch one of my other videos, you'd see this. It's people are disingenuous and don't care.